What's up, SEC football fans? Well, now I'm going to check out my SEC bowl overview predictions. I'm going to start from like the worst bowls up to the biggest one, which you know what that one is. I'm going to start with the BVA Compass Bowl. In that game, you're going to have the 6-6 Mississippi Rebels and the 6-6 Pitt Panthers. And now I really think that Ole Miss is going to really, if you look at their games, they have really contended with the likes of Alabama, LSU, and they whooped on Mississippi State. This is a team that fights really, really hard. I mean, this team, I was really happy that they beat Mississippi State because they really deserve to go to a bowl game. I mean, they came within 3 points of Texas A&M. Came within 6 of LSU. Got beat by Alabama by 19. I mean, that's decent. I mean, only lost to Vandy by 1. Those are some pretty tough opponents. I think that against Pittsburgh, who lost to Youngstown State, I think it's a really big mismatch. And I think Pitt comes out with a really impressive win, 35-10. The next bowl is the Gator Bowl, where you have the 9-3 ranked 20th Northwestern Wildcats playing the 8-4 Mississippi State Bulldogs. Mississippi State. I think that Northwestern is a good program, but you're facing Dan Mullen. And Mississippi State's a team that started out 7-0, but you look at their 3-game losing streak. They had to go to Alabama, got stomped. They had to play A&M, got stomped at home, and then went to LSU and got beat up pretty badly, and on Baton Rouge. And they got a big win against Arkansas, improved to 8 wins, and then faced their rival in the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss, and got blown out. But I really like this team. I think they have a great quarterback. Tyler Russell's a great quarterback, and I think he'll lead them past Northwestern in a 24-21 nail-biting game. Next, we have the Music City Bowl with the 8-4 Vanderbilt Commodores and the 7-5 North Carolina State Wolfpack. I think that Vanderbilt is a great team. Not a great team, but I think they're a greatly led team. You look at how they started the season 1-3. After they went 1-3, the only game they lost was to Florida. 2-4 in their first 6 games, but after that loss against Florida, they beat Auburn, Massachusetts, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Wake. Even though those teams aren't great teams, I mean, you finished 8-4, 5-3 in your conference. You only lost to Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. I think this team, led by James Franklin, a pretty good coach, has looked really good, and I think that their really good secondary is going to really show what they have against North Carolina State. And I think they get this game 28-14. The next game is the Outback Bowl between the number 10 South Carolina Gamecocks, they're 10-2, and the 8-4 ranked 18th Michigan Wolverines. South Carolina's defensive ends are going to take care of Devin Gardner, are going to take care of Denard Robinson. We're talking about Jadeveon Clowney, the best defensive end in a long time. I don't care how long you go. He's up there. He's really good. He's only a sophomore. They're 10-2. They lost to the Florida Gators. They lost to LSU. LSU was only by 2, and they got blown out pretty bad, I think by 33 against the Gators. And then you got Michigan, a team, who's up and down, up and down. They lost to some good teams, Nebraska, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Alabama. 4 pretty good losses, but I think South Carolina's power, they have a pretty decent offense, even though they've been crippled by injuries by Connor Shaw and Marcus Lattimore. I think they're going to come out pretty strong. I think their defense will bottle up Mr. Gardner and Mr. Robinson, and I think South Carolina comes out with a 34-24 victory against Michigan. Now, the Cotton Bowl, both teams are 10-2. You have the Texas A&M Aggies ranked 9th and the Oklahoma Sooners who are ranked 11th. I think this is going to be a very high scoring game. I think it's going to look kind of like the Baylor-West Virginia game. I think Johnny Manziel is really going to show off a lot, and I think Landry Jones is going to show off a lot. I mean, he's going pro. He's got to get drafted, and Manziel just came off winning the Heisman Trophy, something that Landry Jones has been trying to get at for 4 years. I think Johnny Manziel will take over this game. I think their defense will play pretty good up against these wide receivers like Kenny Stills, and I think that Texas A&M will come out with a big victory. I think it's going to be in overtime. I think it's going to be high scoring, and I think the game will end up being 63-59. Texas A&M wins. Now we go to the Capital One Bowl. You have the 11-2, ranked 7th Georgia Bulldogs, and the ranked 16th, 10-3 Nebraska Cornhuskers. I think Georgia really showed greatness against Alabama. I think they showed that they are really probably the third best team in the country. They really played great against Alabama, and when you look at this game and you look at their last 2 games, you're looking at a team, Georgia, who almost beat Alabama. 32-28 final score, 4th quarter touchdown wins the game for Alabama. Then you're looking at Nebraska, a team who also lost their conference championship, the Big Ten championship against Wisconsin, a 5-loss team, and they lost 70 to like something. I think it was 31 maybe, but 70. They allowed 70 points. I think Georgia makes this look like the Capital One Bowl when Alabama played Michigan State. I think Georgia runs away with this game. I think the final score is going to be 49-14. Georgia with the win. You look at the Sugar Bowl. Big mismatch, I think. You got the 3rd ranked number 3, 11-1 Florida Gators playing the 10-2 number 21 Louisville Cardinals. I think Florida just dominates on defense. Their defense is going to go ham. You think about Matt Elam. I think he's one of the best safeties I've ever seen. You look at their great defensive line and just a great defense, and I think they're going to shut down the Louisville offense. And I think the offense will definitely move. You know, you look at Mike Gillislee, one of the best running backs in the country. You know, he's on both SEC, all SEC teams. And I think Florida gets a big win right here. I think finals, it's going to look like Tim Tebow's game. I think it's going to be 42-17 Florida. And the BCS National Championship between the 12-0 number 1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the 12-1 number 2 Alabama Crimson Tide. I think that Alabama's defense is going to shut down a really shaky Notre Dame offense who, you know, only scored 22 against a great USC defense. I think Alabama gets the win. I think they score pretty good. I think the final score is 24-10 Alabama. That's all we got for today. Sorry for making this video really long, but hopefully it's worth it. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.